Uachtaráin poblacht an Kipper agus íana Iliog a Guinea Cór. An gédal sios is mína mar áris mo buicas crí a gabháil le Uachtaráin an Kipper agus rialtas an Kipper agus mítar an Kipper as an fírcin fáil a dáir si bhróm héin rem a bhain céile is réad iad san atá teasta lum. Is ínta gan rada bheith in óit mar se agus muid ag súl le chuir e láthras na fili agus locht an ceol in áras bra galanta se. Dear President Anastasiades, may I take yet another opportunity of saying how grateful I am for the extraordinary warm welcome that you have. Well, it is a very ordinary welcome because it is usual of people in Cyprus to give a very warm welcome to friends. The welcome you have given us has been wonderful, and I want to thank you for you and the government of Cyprus and the people of Cyprus for that welcome. And you honour us, given the extraordinary efforts you have had to make this evening, to be with us for this performance this evening. I'm accompanied in this state visit by the Minister for Justice, Equality and Law Reform, Charles Flanagan, and a number of those travelling with me include representatives of the Irish government and its administration at different levels. May I say that this is a great opportunity as well for coming to the heart of friendship. Culture, performance, arts really never knows a boundary. And Ireland and Cyprus have very ancient connections brought together as they are from the two ends of Europe and the sea with which we are familiar in our mythology and literature. But this evening we're going to be blessed by having been entertained and having entertainers from Ireland and Cyprus, who in fact out of the respect and long echo of that traditional experience have moved into its modern expression. I must immediately say how pleased I am to be able to think of poets performing. I'm slightly envious, actually. But I say that in the case of the music, is to have such a wonderful combination. In the case of our Cypriot performers, a distinguished composer, and equally somebody who has in fact produced over 14 volumes of poetry, but in addition to that is somebody who sings out of, if you like, the very heart of the culture of this part of the world. And Ye Vagabonds, who have, I think, had extraordinary, insightful knowledge of what tradition means and have had the courage to do new and contemporary compositional things with it, and of course I've now recognised abroad. Our artists this evening are recognised both here and all over Europe. And I want to say, as a former Minister for Culture, may I thank you, artists, for what you are doing, in fact, in keeping the heart of Europe beating. I have said I'm accompanied by Minister Charles Flanagan, and I'm also, of course, that all those who are travelling with me are very much looking forward to this evening's performance. I'm really delighted as well that present here this evening is the newly formed, and may I wish it well, the Cyprus Ireland Association. Sabina and I very much also look forward to have an opportunity of meeting our Irish abroad. When we do these state visits, always about the second or third evening, there is an opportunity of meeting that extended family that we have abroad. Again, this is something we share with Cyprus. We have been sending our people all over the world. So Cyprus has so much in common with Ireland. I have mentioned our proximity to the sea and things of the sea. There is our path to independence. There is our difficulty in relation to divided islands. There are the contemporary challenges we face together in relation to climate change and in relation to sustainability. Issues we share in relation to contemporary events, but wherever it is, be it in our discussions such as I've had this week, we have in fact always been able to work together. Irish peacekeepers have served here in Cyprus. But in addition to that as well, in the visits I've had today, wonderful visits of the work that is being done in a joint committee for the missing. But in addition to that, we have been supporters at the United Nations together. We've been supporters of multilateralism. Two significant countries with tradition and history and a commitment to peace, and who think beyond our borders in the interests of a harmonious relationship between nature, people, economy. We have been through recent difficulties together. We both have in fact benefited in days like today from the resilience of our people who've had to come out of difficult economic times. So in all of that then, isn't it appropriate that on a state visit by the President of Ireland to Cyprus, that we would celebrate? And how better to celebrate than to celebrate with that which comes from the heart, poetry and music composed and performed by those who in fact have, as I have said, been able to reach into the past, but also to anticipate with imagination wonderful new things that may begin to be and to happen. I'm so looking forward, as I'm sure you are, and I'm sure to the performances this evening. I'm so grateful to all of those at the embassy and those others here in the host community of our Cyprus who have been of assistance in organising my visit. O Mocriamak, Mila Buikas, Nele Navrasarum, Akamunisheviliak, Chanov, Asan Kjol, Sandaniak, Tatolitiak. I have no doubt whatsoever that you will all be able to open your hearts and enjoy the music and the poetry that we're about to hear. Again, President Anastasiades, mille buikas from my heart out. Thank you for honouring us with your presence. Enjoy the show. Mille buikas. Thank you.